The cops shot him because he was black.
You already know how this is gonna go. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Conservative Insight. Yes, I changed the name from Conservative View because there was actually quite a few channels with that name, and so I wanted something that was personable to me. Anyways, I'm Andre. Like I said, welcome back, and let's go ahead and get started on today's topic. Today, it was suggested to me to do a review by one of my subscribers, EL, about some curriculum that is suggested in one of our local school districts. Now, this book is called Something Happened in Our Town, and let's go ahead and get into it.
After school, Emma asked her mother, "Why did the police shoot that man?" "It was a mistake," said her mother. "I feel sad for the man and his family." "Yes, the police thought he had a gun," said her father. "It wasn't a mistake," said her sister Liz. "The cops shot him because he was black."
All right, so I'm going to pause it right there. So obviously you can see that this is, what critical race theory is. So now they're just preaching, oh, he was only shot because he was black. Now, when you're selling this stuff to, say, elementary age kids, they're not going to think of all the elements and factors that take up to what involves a police shooting and what goes along. What happened? What was the crime? What was going on? They're just going to be like, okay, well, my parents and my family, the people who I trust, said that he was shot because he was black. So they're just going to believe that. Therefore, now these elementary school kids are going to grow up with this image in their head that, okay, when I see a police officer, he's obviously going to have some type of bias towards my black friends, my black classmates, and then they're going to have some type of disdain. Now, when I was in school, I didn't get taught things like this. You were taught, hey, the police are the good guys. For the majority, for the most part, they are the good guys. And you were taught, hey, that is a trusted adult that you can go to for help if you need it. But let's go ahead and keep it rolling.
"I know what a slave is," said Emma. "That's when you have to do whatever the other person says." Yes, slaves had to do whatever white people told them to do. Even after slavery ended, white people didn't let black people live where they wanted, go to school with white people, or vote. Who are white people?
All right, I'm just going to pause it right there because obviously this little girl is over here asking who is white people because kids really don't see color. Now, in more of this critical race theory, we just saw that video that came out about Hasbro from Project Veritas, but they're teaching kids that, they automatically start seeing race between, ages 6 months to 1 year. So why are we going in and saying the kid who obviously can talk is probably 4 years old is saying who is white people? This kid doesn't know that they're white.
White people came here from places in Europe or Russia or other countries. We are white, even though our skin is light tan. "Did our family do those bad things a long time ago?" asked Emma. "Yes," answered her mother. "Back then, many white people thought that they were better than black people, even though it wasn't true."
All right. Sorry to keep interrupting. I just want to make my comments on this. So, how does her parents know that their great-great-grand whoever did these things? Because I'm a lot of people, they don't know past probably maybe their great-grandparents. So to suggest and say, yes, our family did it 100%. What if your family came over to the United States after all that stuff? What after slavery, after hell, even the civil rights movement? And then the fact that, nowadays a lot of white people still think that they're better than black people. Now, the people who believe that are typically liberals because they believe in white privilege. And go ahead and argue with a liberal and say that white privilege does not, especially a white liberal, argue with them about white privilege and say it doesn't exist and see how angry they get because in their mind, they're thinking, no, I am better than you. You need to understand I am better than you. My life is better than you. I'm inherently better than you if I'm a white person, which is racist. And, if you believe that you are superior to black people, and that's what white liberals believe, and they get extremely angry when you tell them it's not true. But let's keep going.
Liz added, "Some white people still think most black men and boys are dangerous, even though they're not." "Was the man that got shot dangerous?" asked Emma. "No," her mother said. "Shooting him was a mistake. It was a mistake that's part of a pattern. Like the pattern on my blanket? Emma asked. Yes, but this pattern is being nice to white people and mean to black people. It's an unfair pattern.
All right, so we're going to take a pause right here. So the little girl asked her mother, was the man that was shot by the police dangerous? And she said no. Now, there's so much factors, like I said earlier, that go into deeming if someone was dangerous. Remember, we got told Michael Brown, hands up, don't shoot, even though that's not the case, that he attacked Officer Darren Wilson, or I think it's Darren Wilson or Dan Wilson, and went in his car and tried to take his gun, which led up to a shot being fired off in the vehicle. Now let's look at Jacob Blake. They said that he wasn't dangerous. He was just a black man that was just shot in the back by the police 7 times. Okay, well, he was reaching in the car for a knife, which he admitted. And then also, let's not forget about the terrible things he did to the mother of his children. So this is very subjective to say someone, well, they weren't dangerous. Well, let's look at all the facts. Let's see everything that's going on, because a lot of these stories, it comes out saying that, oh, the cops did XYZ to this innocent person. And then when more of the story comes out, it just kind of gets buried and just thrown under the rug. But then people only remember the one thing that those cops did. So let's keep going. So now we're actually going to get into another family talking about this incident. It's a black family.
In another house, Josh asked his mother, "Can police go to jail?" "Yes," said his mother. "Why do you ask?" "That white policeman who shot the black man," said Josh. "Will he go to jail?" "What he did was wrong," said his mother. "But he won't go to jail," said his father. "Why not?" asked Josh. "Cops stick up for each other," said Josh's brother, Malcolm, "and they don't like black men."
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack right here. So, pretty much, like you said, elephant in the room. So you're just going to sit up here and talk about like, oh, the cop shot him and the cop was wrong. We still have no idea what the incident actually was. Now, the cop could have been in the wrong, or maybe the criminal could have been in the wrong. Once again, I'm going to bring up an incident. Remember, down in Atlanta during the George Floyd protest, I can't remember the individual's name off the top of my head, but fell asleep in the drive-thru, ended up fighting with the cops, took the taser, tried to tase one of the cops, and he got shot. And then everyone was sitting up here saying, oh, he was innocent, didn't do anything. And then look what happened when Walter Scott was murdered by a white police officer, a black man. He was shot in the back, and then that police officer was sent to prison, as he should have been, especially since he lied about the incident and said that Walter Scott took his taser and was trying to tase him. And that was, I believe, in South Carolina. And then to basically say that officers don't like black men or black people, that's insane to be teaching kids. Because now look at it from a point of a kid. He's in his school, so he's being taught from elementary all the way up to when he starts getting in high school, and there's maybe a school resource off in there. He's going to have very much disdain. So look how much we're trying to bridge that gap between the community and the police, right? And do you think that this is helping at all? Like, this is making it worse. Telling kids that cops do not like black people is going to set that mindset of hating the cops and hating people, especially white police officers, and then also not liking white people because they feel like they're going to be enabling them, like, well, you're white, what are you doing about this stuff? When really, statistically, none of what is being told in this is true, because the cops shoot more white people than they do black people on average. And I mean, those are researchable facts from FBI and the Department of Justice. But let's keep going.
Josh was confused. Why not? Some police are black. "You're right," said his mother. "Uncle James is a police officer, and so is my friend Kenya." "There are many cops, black and white, who make good choices," said his father. "But we can't always count on them to do what's right." Malcolm added, "I could get stopped by the police just because I'm black, even if I don't do anything wrong."
Okay, once again, I'm going to pause right there. Where's those statistics? I mean, I've been stopped by the police, tons of times. I think the first time was for a headlight, second time was for a headlight, third time was for State Patrol thought I didn't have a front license plate. I had a street racer car. Then I got caught speeding. I was doing 45 and a 30, and I got a ticket for that. And then I most recently got pulled over for speeding, doing 82 in a 60. Didn't even get a ticket though, and it was from State Patrol. But none of this is statistically backed up, saying that being pulled over while driving while black is not a thing, and there's no statistics to prove that whatsoever. And if there are, leave them in the comments below. But let's keep rolling.
That's not fair, Josh said. What if it was a white man in the car? Would the police have shot him? They probably wouldn't have even stopped the car, said his father.
Okay, like I said, white people are actually pulled over more often and have, fatal shooting. They're involved in more fatal shootings than black people.
Sometimes white people are treated better than black people, said his mother. But it's not right. Everybody should be treated fairly. Josh's mother gave him a hug. We're proud of who we are. Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King Jr., and Nelson Mandela were strong and brave black leaders. They showed us that we can stand up for our rights and set good examples for others. They were treated unfairly, but helped others learn to be more fair. Some people haven't learned yet, said his father angrily. Why are you mad? Asked Josh. I'm mad that we're still treated poorly sometimes, but I can use my anger to make things better, said his father. Black people have a lot of power if we work together to make changes.
All right, I'll stop right there. So, yeah, black people do have a lot of power if they work together and make changes. But unfortunately, the real problem that is facing black America is not white supremacy or not some evil white man somewhere holding them down. It's what no one ever wants to talk about. Black on black crime, whether you want to call it black on black crime or just crime. If you look at the inner city and black communities, they are killing each other in extremely high murder rates. So those communities need to fix themselves and get it together and stop. We have all these people that'll protest when a criminal is killed by the police, but no one is up and protesting against, the gangs that are shooting kids in schools and shooting kids that are on playgrounds, doing drive-bys, shooting random innocent people. Nobody ever talks about that. There's no protest. There's nothing about that. It's just like, well, you need to stop talking bad about black people, blah, blah. We have to fix that problem in the black community if we want black people to strive. And then also make sure both parents are in the home. We need to stop having, children out of wedlock and just having them out there, single parent homes, mother's trying to struggle and work 2 jobs. Hopefully she's not addicted to drugs or alcohol or anything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for this video. If I find more critical race theory books, I'll do a lot more reviews. Shout out, like I said, to EL for this recommendation. Yeah, and comment down below what you guys think. Do you think this is appropriate for something to be taught to kids that are in elementary school? Do you think it should probably be up in the high schools when kids actually have critical thinking and they can actually analyze and discuss versus of just straight and absorbing everything and taking it at face value? Yeah, so until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Make sure you subscribe and also share this video to get this information out there, because a lot of people say that critical race theory is not being taught in schools and that it doesn't exist. But obviously, clearly, you can see it does exist and it is being taught. So like I said, comment your thoughts down below. Shoot me a subscribe, please, because a lot of you guys are viewing, not subscribing. I'll forgive you for that. But until next time, guys, peace.